my socks. What are they? I think they're burgers, hot dogs.
I really like colorful socks. Hi, my name is Trent Burke. I'm from New Orleans, and I'm a senior at De La Salle High School. Something that's really special to me about New Orleans is how we're able to merge the fun and the serious times, because everyone knows we have Mardi Gras, but also we're one of the most Catholic cities in the country. A lot of my extracurriculars focus on leadership, and it takes a lot of dedication, honestly, to be able to balance all the different things that I'm in. The stress in my life can sometimes overpower me, and the running that I do can help me just get rid of it and really refocus myself on what I need to focus on. To me, running and faith are parallel, because just like running, your faith is about how you do against yourself. Let's say when you were younger, you were really committed to your faith, but then as the years went on, you kind of strayed away. That's kind of like when you're in cross-country practice, your first couple miles, they're good, but then your middle three, it's just oh my gosh. And you're okay, I need to do better. Let me try to get 10 to 15 seconds better so that by the end of the season, I can get to this goal or this time. It's those little things where it's you pushing yourself to do your best while also pushing those around you. Sundays to me are like the practice days where you practice. It's easy to be faithful on Sundays and work on your faith on that one day at Mass, but the hardest thing is to be faithful those other 6 days of the week. When you're just walking around with your peers, you want to make sure that everyone does their absolute best, because you know if they do their best, it'll push you to do your best or even better. To my person, here I am again. Here I am again at a loss for words. What are words in this type of situation? What are words when you have a loved one dying, when she was always there for you, always batting for you, always loving you? When she was everything, when you had nothing else. When she was like a second mother to you. Even when you stopped calling, stopped coming around as much, stopped talking to her as much, there she was. There she was in utter love and appreciation for the grandson she has, even when he did not fully appreciate her. It took 4 to turn to 14 for him to realize his mistakes. But to that wonderful grandmother, that friend, comforter, confidant, that admirer, protector, hype woman, I love you, and I always will. I wrote that poem in the spring of my junior year as I was dealing with a wide range of emotions about my grandmother's worsening battle with cancer. You see, my grandmother was like the second mother that let me play the Wii all day, every day during the summer, nonstop. So when I heard about her condition and the possibility that she would not be able to see me get my ring in August, it was devastating. Through my writing, though, Christ healed me. And Christ heals us in many different ways, whether it be through powerful experiences of his presence, adoration in daily Mass, or even just a feeling of belonging and community. That feeling of belonging and community is what I needed. But for proper context, I have to start from the beginning. Faith was always something I felt like I needed, yet doubt infiltrated my mind. I doubted everything there was to know about one's faith. I doubted the existence of God. I doubted his love and care for me, his presence and work on earth, and even the church's authority to regulate faith. Success did not seem feasible, because success just seemed to consist of going to Mass every Sunday, daily rosaries, and other things of the stereotypical devout Catholic. I soon realized that success is personal, but it was not yet my time to realize how to find my success. It was my time in the spring of my junior year when I found my solution, my poetry. It was after an English test and we had extra time, so I wrote what I called The Sweetest Juice, which is about the multifaceted Black American experience. Let me share a couple stanzas. Black is peace, Black is love, Black is beauty, Black is knowledge. Black is absolutely, positively amazing. I am Black. I am me. I am proud. I am the berry with the sweetest juice. Writing that poem was like nothing else I'd ever felt in my life. It was at that moment when I finished, I realized I had found my way to productively deal with my emotions. But I didn't fully realize what it meant for me until the summer of 2019, when I went to Catholic Leadership Institute and Young LaSallian Assembly. At CLI, we were told to go to adoration and connect with God as music played in the background. At first, I was lost. I didn't know what to do. But then one song hit a little bit different, sparked some words, some images, and I started writing. And I wrote, and I wrote, and I wrote. And then I wrote some more. It was only about 30 minutes I was there, but it was the most profound faith experience I had had to that point. Even though I had this great faith experience, I still was not sure if I was on the correct path for my own spiritual healing. It wasn't until I went to YLA that I fully realized that I was. In one of our small groups, we talked about our own faith stories and our faith experiences, and I shared what I called my non-traditional faith experiences and how I doubted if I was going about it the right way or doing the right thing. And a girl in my group told me to do whatever I needed to do to fix my spirituality and to get my connection with God. Later in YLA, we had more time to reflect and write, and I wrote just like CLI. And it was after that that I fully realized that I was doing the right thing. Christ healed me through my writing. When I write, it's like nothing else I ever experience. When I have those negative feelings, they get pushed out and replaced with those positive ones. And if I have those positive feelings already, they're magnified tenfold. When I'm able to look back at my writing, I look back, I read it, I'm like, wow, I just did that. And I see a direction that Christ is pointing me to either further his mission or better my own life. And thankfully, I've been using that to help with my different emotions and feelings I've been dealing with throughout my life, especially this one time after school when I was really dealing with the news of my grandmother and her health conditions and things. I went in the back corner of the library, opened up my computer, and just started venting while silently crying. Anyone that knows me knows I hate being vulnerable, even in private and especially in public. So you could say I was at my lowest, but Christ built me back up. I felt like I was broken, but I realized I never was, because Christ brought hope in his everlasting embrace. Before I leave, I need to acknowledge something. I am not perfect. I'm still that teenage kid that doesn't want to go to Mass on Sundays after a late Saturday night. I still mess up, sometimes worse than others, on tests and quizzes in school. I am still human. I am not fully healed. But I believe I am on my path to being healed. Yes, I do still sometimes doubt my faith, but doubt is not always a bad thing. It can be a way for God to open up the door of your heart again in bigger and better ways than ever before. Even the disciples doubted. For example, In the Road to Emmaus story, Cleopas and his companion were doubting whether or not Jesus was the Messiah. It took Christ dying, resurrecting, walking with them on the path and breaking the bread for the disciples to dispel their doubt. Your experience may not be as profound, but it will be for you. Writing was my breaking of the bread story. What will be yours? Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much, Trent. Wow, let's give it up for the courage of this young man.
What a witness.
And can I say, poetry has arrived at NCYC.
Right? We got some spoken word. We got some preaching going on.
That was so incredibly beautiful. We just saw morning prayer. We heard the testimony of Trent. Maybe some of you guys were seeing the habit of the young man.